We've been hearing a lot about generative fill since the last week, and today I wanted to give it a shot and understand how it really works. So here's the Adobe page where it talks about generative fill. You can add text prompts to generate image. You can make variations of the image inside the photo. So if you select certain areas, you can actually generate variations for that image. You can add, objects or elements in an image and a lot more. It's like using generative AI's capabilities, putting them all in Photoshop and kind of making a Photoshop that's on steroids. Now, in order to access it, you need access to Photoshop beta. So if you want to access it, you'll have to enable beta access and then kind of go to Adobe Photoshop beta, and then you'll be able to play around. So once you install the beta version, there's not a lot different than the usual Photoshop. You still have a canvas where you can upload an image. You can see this is the image I think I had generated using Midjourney, and we're going to be playing around with this image. So I'm going to fit it to canvas, and you can see off the shelf you have certain capabilities like remove background, select a subject, directly jump into generative fill, and let's try out what we can do. So let's say we wanted to make this mountain here look like a volcano. So the minute I select this area using lasso tool, you can see this bar comes up where I have an option to do generative fill. Okay, I'm gonna say volcanic mountain, and you can click on generate. So this will take a few seconds and then it will be able to generate a couple of variations for you to play around with. All right, so you can see that the mountain has now changed. It is more on the lines of a volcanic mountain. And to kind of see the original one, you can click here. You can see this was the original one and it created a new layer on top of that, which is say a more volcanic like mountain. You can see there are more variations of this. So you are really independent to choose whichever you want. But the image generated very well aligns with the overall image per se. Now obviously it's not perfectly aligned, but if you look at this image, if someone who's not seen this image looks at this image before, because of how the image is right now, this might seem a part of the image per se. So let's say we like this image, we can go ahead and just keep this layer. Next, what we'll do is we'll replace this part of the image with a more cityscape. Let's generate. And all of these new things that you're generating in the image are merely layers. So you can enable and disable these based on your preferences. You can see, for example, okay, so this is what it generated. I don't see a city here. Look at more samples. So yeah, this goes very well with the image, but I really don't see a city. So what we can do is we can make the prompt more clear. Let's say cityscape, buildings and towers and factories. So let's say we click on generate. Okay, now it's kind of added a building here. This first image is not aligned. So you're going to be looking through the samples that are generated. Okay, this looks good. This is well aligned with the image. So I'm going to keep it here for now. And these are the old samples that were generated. You can go ahead and generate more samples if you want. And let's give it a shot. Let's see what else you can generate. Otherwise, we'll go forward with this one. Okay, this one looks pretty good too. This one is not so great. This one looks good. Looks like some kind of church. But yeah, I think this one I like the best. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add a school bus here. Okay, you select the area where you want to add the element. So I'm going to say school bus picking up children. Okay, I think the initial generation too is not too bad. I think I like this one, so I'm going to keep it. So let's try and make a river flowing through the mountain. I'm hoping you understand how powerful Photoshop will become once this goes live to all users. You can literally experiment with anything, ensuring the art form or the imagery of the photo does not really change. The first one is not so great. So this is the second one and this is the third one. I'm not happy with the generation, so let's try it again. Okay, so these are the second set of generations and these two don't look great. I'm gonna delete this layer real quick. Okay, now let's pick the top part of the image and let's say sunrise. I'm keeping it very open-ended right now. I'm not adding detailed prompts. It's primarily because I want to test out how detailed I need to go when it comes to generating these images. I ideally want to give very little context because the image is anyways giving a lot of context to the model itself. So for the sunrise, I think it completely messed up. This is the second sample and this looks okay, but this looks more like a moon, but this is way better than the first one. This is the third one. I don't like this one. Okay, let's generate a few more. I think my goal with this image is like almost nearing an end. So post this, we'll take one more image and we'll try to generate, we'll build some idea and then we'll try to generate more things in the image per se. Okay, this looks pretty good. Looks like a sunrise and more realistic. This looks okay, but this looks like a moon. This one's thing. Yeah, so this one I think is the best one. And let's finally add a few kids here playing in the play. Kids playing in the play. I mean, let's go ahead and also add a boat here and then we can close this one. Okay, some sample. I think this one's looking very good. So I'm going to keep this one and then let's add a boat dropping kids on the shore. I think overall these are not so good. I think this one may be aligned with this, but this one and this one is not looking very aligned with the. So let's try to generate a few more samples. Okay, this one looks fine. I'm gonna go with this. Has some kids in the boat and it's kind of on the shore. So yeah, I mean this is pretty much what I wanted to do with this image. So let's try and go to the original image. Okay, so this was the original image that I had fed on the Photoshop and this is how it looks. See, we modified a bunch of things. We've added a bus, a school, a boat, a bunch of kids. We've changed how the scenery looks up here. We've added a sunrise and the image now looks way different from the original image. I'm very happy with this because someone's looking at this image for the very first time, they wouldn't necessarily be able to make out that this image was edited. And I'm pretty happy overall with the generation. Now let's try one more sample. A beach in the background with a sunrise. I want to add a dog on the boat and I want to add a pirate ship somewhere here. So this is the idea that I want to generate and let's kind of get started with it. So first let's tackle the bigger problem of adding a beach. Okay, so you click on generative fill. So we're going to say beach with sunrise. Giving it very little context by choice. And it takes a few seconds to generate the image. Okay, it completely messed up this image. So this wasn't the expectation at all. This one looks fine, but I still don't see a beach. Okay, let's say this image is also fine, but still no beach. Sandy beach with sunrise. A few more samples here. This one looks okay, but there's no sunrise. So let's give it another shot. So isolated island with sandy beach during sunrise. Okay, this is the first generation. Not happy with it. Not happy with this one either. Not happy with this one either. So maybe that's what's causing the problem. So let's say this is I'm selecting the whole image to see what we can do. I'm going to say sandy beach with a sunrise in the background. One of the worry that I have at this point is it may also change these character faces or characteristics of the character. So I hope that does not happen. Well, let's wait and watch. Well, it kind of replaced the whole photo. I think I did something wrong there. Let's give it another shot. Okay, like I said, it kind of ruined the heads. So sunrise with birds and wow, I'm envisioning it. There's a sun rising from the horizon and then there's like beach. And then there are dolphins in the view of the sunrise and along with the birds in the sky. Yeah, nailed it. See another sample. I don't know, man. Like in the first image, it was doing pretty good. Maybe this image is hard, but let's just say sunrise right now and see what we can get. Because it's kind of ruining the experience I've had in the last image. So let's see. Come on, man. It's not even doing sunrise really well now. Let's generate this again. Nope. Not happy with most of the generations. This one could have been great, but the sun looks more like I don't know, oval. Let's try this final one. Oh man, all of these look so bad. Let's try one final one. This one's okay. If I don't get a good image, I'm going to use this one. Okay, I'm going to use this image finally because I don't think it can do a better job than this. Let's select an area on the boat and let's say dock. That's all. Should be very simple because it's just a small element to add, aligning with the context. We're going to be adding a few dolphins here. We're going to be adding a pirate ship here. Okay, yeah, this one looks okay. Let's select this area and dolphins. Okay, let's look at the few samples. Yeah, this one. Let's add a pirate ship here. Let's add a few more boats here. Okay, I don't know why these pirate ships are in white color. Let's do one more generation. Oh man, all of these look bizarre. This one's the most aligned, but I should probably tell it to generate black pirate ship. Black pirate ship. Yeah, this one is okay. Okay, let's go with this one. Let's add a crow sitting here. Well, yeah, it looks fine, only that it has its tail visible in the image, which shouldn't be. Let's keep it there. Let's add a motor. Let's add a motor on the boat. I have a feeling that this won't do a good generation, but let's try it anyway. Well, not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's add drinks. Yeah, well, that kind of ruins it. So going to delete that layer because it's not really enough space. So this was the original image, and this is how it looks now. It's, well, you can see the context has completely changed. In this image, you can see these three guys look abandoned, and in this image, it seems more, it looks like they're abandoned, but I've added some scenery in the background. And yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you now understand what, generative fill in Photoshop can and cannot do for you. And I hope I did add value to you guys. Thank you so much and have a good one.